like object in Java, right? Now next is array initialization. You can also use the array declaration and value initialization in a single statement like this. This is the month day is a variable, array variable name. It is a kind of array and it is having the initialize element like this. If you are using such an initialization statement, there is no need of new operator to allocate memory. It automatically gauges the size of the array by counting the number of elements you have used inside these curly braces. The array is created large enough to hold all the specified elements. That means for this example, it's creates the integer kind of array having size 12 to hold this all the values inside the array. Now if you have the declaration, if you have the declaration statement and initialization statement in single line, then you can write like this. Here is the many example I have given like this. If you have string, then you can initialize it like this. If you have boolean array, then you can initialize it by using false comma true values. If you have declare it and later on you want to initialize, at that time you have to refer this syntax. That means this tf is a kind of boolean array and now you want to store and initialize elements of this tf boolean array. At that time you have to use the syntax variable name equals to new, then type of this variable is boolean, then use the bracket sign. Here you don't need to use the size because later on you are writing the number of elements. By counting the number of elements, it automatically gauges the size of the array. So here it will be 2 because you have used 2 elements in an initialization purpose. So it automatically takes size of tf true false boolean array element as a 2. Now next is how to access the array elements. This array having the length number of elements. So if you want to access the elements, first element, second element, third element, fourth element, then you have to use the syntax of indexing syntax. The indexing syntax is array variable name, then use the bracket. Inside the bracket use some integer value. This index indicates the number, indicates the elements location. This the array index is always starts from 0. If you are using wrong syntax, then Java generates runtime errors. Array index out of bounds is an error that you will get. So please use this index properly to access the array elements. Otherwise it generates the runtime error, not a compile time error. Index of first element is 0 and index of last element in your array is length minus 1. That means for in our example month days, if you want to access the days in first month, you have to use the syntax index 0 with month days. If you want to access the last element, then you have to use the syntax variable name, then last element is 11, not 12. If you are using 12, then you will get the error index out of bound in your program. So please keep in mind the last element index is always length minus 1. Now how to access the length of the array runtime? Because whenever you are declaring array, you are never giving the size. So whenever you want to get a size of your array, here length is a property available in Java arrays. To use this length property, the syntax is array variable name, then dot operation, then length. If you are using such a syntax in your program, it will always return integer value, and it is basically that integer value indicates that number of elements available in that array. That means size of the array. Say for the example, if you are writing like this system.out.println month days dot length in your program, then it returns 12 for our example. The example that we have used, inside that example we have used 12 number of elements. That's why. Now next is how this array allocated inside the memory. So if these arrays are stored in the memory so that the elements are sequential in order. This address is given by the compiler at runtime. But if you want to access your first element, it indicates uh, for that the syntax is actual variable name, array variable name, counts, and index is 0. You can access this first value. If you want to access the last value, so here this integer array counts, this counts having size 8, so the last element is up to 7 only. And if you are going to assign 10 in third index, then your fourth element will become a 10. So this is the assignment syntax. By using the indexing sequence syntax equals to sign and variable and value, you can assign the new value inside your array also. So this is the basic memory structure which is allocated to the array elements. Now next is, here is one program in which I have created one double kind of array and array initialization also, and I want to find the total of this all the elements, and later on I want to find which number is maximum from the all elements that I want to find. So for that I have used one array. So here is the syntax to declare and initialize one double array. Initialization syntax I have written over here. Now for loop to access the all array elements, that I will cover when I will teach you the loops in Java. But for now you can understand it by using this example here. Your array starts from index 0. So initialize this for loop with initialize this I variable with 0 value. I is less than mylist dot length. You can use this length property of array over here to access up to last element of array. Then increment I by one element by using the I plus plus operator, so that you will get my list of I, and we are going to printing this all the elements by using this loop my list I. That means first element it's going to print, then second element, because I value incremented by 1, so my list of 1, my list of 2, my list of 3, and such that you are getting the display of all the elements. Now I'm going to find the sum of the all the elements. For that I have taken one local variable total, initialize this total variable with 0, and I'm storing this elements value and adding it into total variable by using the composite addition operator. This operator I have already covered in my previous video lectures. So I'm adding this all the elements value in this total element, total variable, and after completion of this loop I'm printing this total and I'm getting this answer over here 11.7. Now I want to find out the maximum value available in this list. For that I have initialized my max variable with the first value of my list array. So to access the first value of my list array, the syntax is my list of 0. So such that you can access the first element, and we are I'm going to store this first element value in max. Now inside the for loop I am going to compare the second element with this max element. If that second element is greater than the max element, then I am assigning max equals to that element. If this condition becomes false, then I am not assigning max element, I am not changing the max element, such that after completion of this for loop iterate all the elements of array, and after completion of this for loop I am getting the maximum value inside my max variable. So here 3.5 is a maximum value, and such that you can use this indexing operation, length property, array declaration syntax to create such a programs to find max number, to sort array, to uh, search some element inside the array, sort in descending order, addition of all the elements, find the average of elements. Such a program you can create by using this array syntax. Now let us talk about multi-dimensional array. Say for the example, I am having such a data and I want to find out the distance between this Chicago and Houston. And I am having one tabular form chart. Inside this all the values are given from and to, and the from and to distance is given in this table, and I want to find out such a values. What is the distance between New York to Atlanta? By using this data available with me. For this, you cannot store this such a data only by using a single dimension array. To store such a data, you must need a multi-dimensional array. A multi-dimensional array is basically array of arrays. That means you want array of a multiple distance, and this all the arrays elements are also array. Say for the example, I want to store this data. For that I am going to create an array like this. This brackets indicates it's an array. Now inside the array my all the elements is also array. So this is the syntax of a single dimensional array. Yes or no? This is the syntax of single dimensional array, and this all are available as an element of some array. So here this is called as an array of array, and it is also called a multi-dimensional array, and this indicates by using two rectangle braces, and this is the array variable name of it. Now let's talk about this multi-dimensional array deep. So multi-dimensional array is an array of array, same concept, but data type of each array element itself is an array, right? The data in the table of or a matrix can be represented by using two-dimensional array. The declaration of such an array is like this: data types, then variable name, then two brackets. The creation of array is data type, then variable name, then new operator, and again data type, and inside this two brackets you have to write number of, in your first bracket you have to write number of rows required in your two-dimensional array. In each row how many number of columns you want. So the second bracket indicates number of columns you want in each row. So first is number of row and second is number of columns, right? If you want to go for the initialization purpose, then you can initialize by using such a syntax. This single bracket is for single dimensional array. Inside this you are creating elements as an array. So this is an array element, and inside the array element you have only integer values. For that's why the data type of this array is integer. Now how to access the length property for the two-dimensional array. So if you are, this x is a variable of array kind of variable, and it is a two-dimensional array variable. At that time if you are accessing x dot length, then you will get the number of rows in this x. That means you will get 3 if this is the, that means x equal is integer 3. You have written like this: 3 by 4. if this is the array, X is an array. So whenever you are writing like this X dot length, you will get only number of rows inside your this X array. If you want to find the number of columns in first row, number of columns in second row, at that time you have to write X of 0. That means first row dot length. At that time you will get number of elements in first row. That means number of columns in first row. If you are writing like this, X of 1, that means second rows dot length. You will get for third row, for to access the third row, X of 2 dot length. You will get a 4, right? Here is another example I have written. Here, how many number of rows? 3. And how many number of columns? 2, right? So here this matrix is of 3 by 2. This is the matrix, 3 number of rows and 2 number of columns. Now to access this all the elements, you have to use the indexing syntax. To access the indexing syntax, you have to again use the 2 brackets. This first index indicating the row number and second index indicating the column number. This is the row number and this is the column number. This row number 2 of 0. So this row is starts from 0, 1 and 2. Second rows, and this again column is also starts from 0 and 1. So second rows 0 elements, that means you will get it as a 5. If you are going to print like this, system.out.println m of 2 of 0, that means you will get 5 for this example. Now next is, this is the multiple syntax available to declare a multidimensional array. This is a declaration statement, data type, 2 brackets and variable name. After declaration, you can initialize, you can create like this, initialize like this, m equals to new, integer is a data type, then brackets, and at the time of creation, you want non-zero values and you want to initialize like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In first row, you want 2 elements. In second row, you want 2 elements, 3 and 4. In third row, you want 2 elements, 5, 6. Now here, another syntax you can create like this also. Only by giving the number of rows at the time of creation of array is also possible in Java. Don't give the column number of columns required in each row. This is the correct syntax available in Java, but at that time you have to initialize each and every row by using the new array single dimension creation syntax. Then and only then this will work, otherwise it will not work because you are not defining number of columns over here. So how compiler will get the idea how many number of columns require in each row? So for that you have to write some more syntax. In first row you want single dimension array 1, 2. In second row you want single dimension array 3, 4. In third row you want single dimension array 5, 6 as an element inside it. Right? So whenever you are not giving the column number, you have to create each and every row by using the new operator. This is the another syntax you can initialize by using the 2 indexing mechanism which is available with multidimensional array. Right? Now next is rect array. Rect array is special kind of array in which your all the rows have non-uniform length. That means if you want only 1 element in first row, if you want 2 element in second row, if you want 3 element in your third row, if you want 4 element in your fourth row, then it is possible in Java. You just need to use only and only number of rows you want in that array. Don't specify the column name. Now at the time of column row creation, row initialization, use the number of columns you require in each row. That means for first row, that means n of 0 equals to new integer of 1. That means you want an array of one size in first row. N of 1, that means second row. Second row you want two elements. So you want one dimensional array of two length in your second row. Second row equals to new integer of 2 size. Third, that means n of 2 equals to new integer of 3 elements. That means array of 3 elements you require in your third row. In fourth row, you want 4 element array. So for that, the syntax is on of 3 equals to new integer of 4. Now, if you want to go for such a triangle like this, first you want 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 5, then also it is possible. You can create a ragged array by using the initialization syntax also. So it will store like this in Java, because it is a kind of reference variable, right? Now let us so I'm going to end this session. I'm going to end this session and I will continue with the